please, I think I'm gonna share this in the main group, Linux commands for beginners. So do me a favor, whatever you see which is not working, like whether it's an audio issue or the videos or anything, let me know so I can adjust it, because I intend to use this kind of setup for the future workshop, and this is one of my first workshops. I've done live streams before, but not often. This is why I'm having a hard time now, but I think I figured it out now. But it would be great if you can share your input. Just tell me anything. It's not working, it doesn't look good, you have to do this, I'd appreciate that input, because I have no way to know what you are seeing on the other end. So let me go back to the main screen. Okay, now I'm gonna run some Linux commands. So I started the terminal, which is the body terminal. I'm gonna restart it again just to show you how it's a program installed on my Windows 8.1 machine, and I use it to log in remotely using SSH with this program here. It's called the body, PUTTY. Okay, and this one you can use it for, I'm using it for SSH session now, secure shell, and I have it set up because I've used it before. And this is my Linux server here on the side. It's a local machine, it's not on a network, but you can use the same commands, but the address will change, the IP address. So now I'm gonna start the terminal. So I have the server 2, I gave it the host name as server 2. And this way, because sometimes the IP address changes, even if it's local machine, it's gonna change. So I gave it the host name as server 2. This way I don't have to remember IP addresses. And you have to use a port 22. So I'm gonna hit open, and I'm gonna use this, the other setting. I need to have a bigger. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. This is the terminal, and I got this prompt here, the login as. So I have to enter my username, and obviously you have to have a username on a server when you log in, and you have different kind of rights. You have the admin rights or the root, then you have the standard, just regular users, and you have others, I think. I don't know if it falls into the standard or different, but let's start with the admin and the standard. So I'm gonna log in as an admin now, and this is my login. I enter, and I'm gonna be prompted for the password. And if you look here, it says GeoKChem add server to password. So if you don't get this login, it looks, if you did not set up server 2 or the IP address of the server in the body terminal, you will have to use the host name. And the way you do it is, at one point I have to prove it to show you. What you do is SSH space and your username, and then you add in the server 2, just like here. So this is why it showed GeoKChem add server 2 password. So I enter my password. And please note that when you enter your password in Linux, you're not gonna see the cursor moving to the right side as you type. It's gonna be in the same location. It's kind of confusing. It's unlike other systems like Windows, where the cursor moves every time you type one character, and it looks like it disconnected. I don't know why, even though I have the okay, it looks like there's certain time I have to enter my credentials. You cannot wait. I'm waiting too long, it looks like. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna restart the terminal. When you get disconnected or it becomes inactive, what you do, you go up and right click and restart session. Restart session again. I'm gonna enter my password now because it looks you don't want to wait. It's one of the security measures I have the feeling in the system. So you wait now, and you kind of get, once you get in, you kind of get a screen that says welcome or something. You see it now. Okay, so you got this main screen here. It says welcome to Ubuntu 20.04.5 LTS. Whenever you use an operating system like Linux, Ubuntu, try to get the LTS. It's long-term support. It means they support it for 5 years, I think, because it looks like you'll have updates off into the operating system, and not every one of them is LTS. So you want to use the LTS one, and they give you some information about the system and the kernel and what architecture are you running. 86, it means the Intel 386 architecture, and you have some information here about the system, and then it will give you some information here about expanded security maintenance for applications is not enabled. So that's an option, I guess. It should be enabled in the system. It shows 5 updates can be applied immediately. To see those additional updates, run apt list upgradable. So I'm not gonna do it right now, but it says enable ESM apps to receive additional future security updates. Run pro status. So what's good about Ubuntu, I'm not sure about the other Linux distributions, but for Ubuntu, it sounds to me it's very beginners friendly, even though it's widespread for commercial use and for home use, but it's very beginner friendly. It will help you whenever you type a command, you mistype it, or you type a command that does not exist in the system. The system will propose certain information and commands, and if you're trying to do something, I like this option in Linux. So and it will give you when you logged in the last time, and it will give you the IP address where you log in from. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna clear the screen to move to get to the top of the prompt. So if you clear here, you get to the top here of the terminal window and you start typing commands. So let me just look what I was talking about for the workshop, what I want to cover. Okay, I wanted to cover logging in remotely, so I did. I just did logged in remotely, and in case you don't have the server or the IP address of the Linux server set up in a terminal setting, this one here, let me right click. Okay, because I have the host name or IP address here, I have it set up. Server 2. If you didn't have this and you're starting for the first time, you have to use this one here. You're gonna use username, which is, let's say, GeoGateChannel at server 2, and you have to put before SSH. So SSH space, this is how you log in remotely using a secure shell, the SSH protocol to the server. SSH space, and this is your username here, and you add server 2 in this case, but usually the IP address or the name of the server, etc. So this is how you use it. But since I have server 2 connected to it, all what I had to do when I was presented the login screen is to enter my username and then the password. So now I am logged in the system and Linux here, the server. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run some file related commands. This is the second one in the workshop. By the way, guys, nobody joined this workshop yet, but I'll be doing more in the future. Probably either in the evening or Saturdays. I have to figure out the schedule, but I'm thinking of doing it once a week, but I will let you know in a group. And I already set up this group, Linux Commands Workshop, so it's totally it's a private group separate from the this group, Linux Command for Beginners. So once you join, you enroll in a class, and I think it's gonna be $20. I'm gonna sell it for $20, and it's gonna be 90 minutes live. I'll be sitting just like here now on this terminal, and I'll be typing commands, explaining, and you'll know ahead of time that what I'm gonna be covering. And I'm gonna run for about maybe 60 minutes, about an hour, and then the last half an hour I'll open it for questions. And most of the questions and topics are covered in my Linux Commands for Beginners online course. So this is because I collected and I recorded videos for the course from what I know. So if you ask very advanced topics like programming of the kernel and other, I may not be able to answer. I am at a level where I'm not a beginner. I wouldn't consider myself a beginner, but maybe I am like one level above a beginner. So let's run some file-related commands. So the file-related commands, let's say you want to create a file. But first, before you create a file, let's see where we at. What's the present directory, where we are now. So if you type pwd, that's the command where it shows you your current directory. So I am at my home directory. So let's say let's do a list, and you use list to list what's in your home directory in this case. But the ls, it will list the content of a directory, files and directories currently. So let's say I wanna create a file named Saturday 1. So what I do, I use the command touch followed by the name of the file, Saturday 1. I hit enter. Now in Linux, as I mentioned before, you don't get approval or validation when you type a command correctly all the time. Sometimes you get it, but you get an output or an error message if you use the commands incorrectly. So now I didn't get any, but I want to confirm that Saturday 1 file was established. So what I do, listing. I do listing, and if you look here, you can see this file here. So this is the file I just created now. So let's say I want to move this file, Saturday 1, I want to move it to directory 1, to dir 1. So first let's list the directory 1 content. So I am in dir 1 now. Okay, so in dir 1 I have file 1, file 2. So I'm gonna move Saturday 1 file to dir 1, and let me show you how to do it. Okay. So the command you use is mv. If you want to move a file from one directory to another, you use mv. mv, the current directory of the file. And since it's the current, I am in the current directory and the file is in it, I'm not gonna have to use a path to get to the file. And then, so that's where the file is, but I don't have to type anything because I am in the current directory where the file is. And then you specify the destination directory where you want the file to be moved to. So which is dir 1. dir 1. Okay, missing destination. Okay, I think I have to use the forward slash. specify the file, sorry. So move Saturday, you have to specify the name of the file, space, the destination of the file, which is dir1. So if I hit enter now, permission denied. Okay, so it gave me permission denied, but it's the wrong error message, because what I use a forward slash, but I didn't have to, because directory1 is in my current directory, so I didn't have to use, for just like what I did with the file, I didn't have to specify any path to the file. In this case, I don't have to specify any path to the directory to dir1, because both are in the same current directory where I am now. So I didn't get any error messages now, so I'm gonna assume that Saturday1 was moved to dir1. So let's list dir1 content, and if you look at the content, I did list dir1. You can see file 1, file 2, these were there, and this is Saturday1. So this is how you move a file from one directory to another, and the directory can be in your current directory or somewhere in a system, in a file system, and you're moving it to a different directory. But you have to, the main point is to specify the path of the originating file and the destination directory where you want the file to be moved to. And in this case, I made it simple. I didn't want to go with the slashes and the path and everything, because there's a video, I have a video specifically for the path of the file and directories in a Linux system. So this is how you create it so far and how you move it. Now let's say you want to copy the file. So what's the difference between move and copy a file? Moving a file from one directory to another, as the name implies, it will move it and to one place, from one place to another. But if you want to move the file Saturday1 to the directory, and you want to keep an original copy in its location, you use the copy command, which is the CP, abbreviated CP. So you use, instead of MV, you use CP, and then the name of the file you want to move and its location, and then you specify the directory file. So let's try it in this case. So let's say I want to move, I think I have dir3 here. Okay, so I have dir1 and dir3. Let's say I want to move the file Saturday1 from dir1 to dir3. I want to copy it, sorry. I want to copy it. It means I want to keep it in dir1 and make a copy, create a copy, and establish it in dir3. So let's clear the screen. So I am in my current directory, which has directory1, directory3, and Saturday1 file, and I want to copy Saturday file 1 to directory 3, and I want to keep a copy, the original copy, in directory 1. So this is how I do it. CP space Saturday 1, which is the name of the file, and again I didn't have to specify any path to the file, because it's in my current directory where I am now, and I wanted to copy it to dir3. But before I do this, let me show you what's the content of dir3. ls dir3. So ls dir3. Okay, so it has dir2. Okay, that's fine. So I will move it to here. You can see the dir2, and then you can see the file here. So CP space Saturday 1, and then you specify the destination directory, which is dir3 in this case, and you hit enter, and it says no such. So what happened? CP. Okay, I have to specify the path to Saturday 1, which is in directory 1. So this is what, because Saturday 1 is not in a current directory now, so you have to use dir1 Saturday 1. Saturday 1, and then I specify dir3. Now it should be copied, because what happened, the error I got, because Saturday 1 is not in this current directory where I am now. It's in a subdirectory, it's in dir1, so I have to specify dir1, so the system will know what I'm looking for, the path, I have to specify the path. So let's see now. Okay, now it worked. So basically, I was assuming that Saturday 1 file is in this current directory, but it's not. It's in dir1, which is a subdirectory of the current one. So that's why I had to specify a path, and the path is to that file is dir1, and then the name of the file. Now we're gonna go to dir3 and list the content, and you can see Saturday 1 there. So ls-l dir3, and if you look here, this is Saturday 1. So this is how you copy a file from one location to another. So now you're gonna see Saturday 1, it exists in dir1 and dir3. So if you do ls dir1, you're gonna see Saturday here, and if you do listing for dir3, you're gonna see Saturday here. So this is how you copy a file from one directory to another. So basically I got stuck because I was working as if Saturday 1 is in the current directory, which is this one here, my home directory, but it's not. It was in a subdirectory of this home. That's why I had to specify the path to it. So let's clear. And if you notice, there are some commands, you'll use them all the time while you're working, like let's say pwd. This way you know where you are, and in a file system, the path, and the ls, you list the content of the directory, you specify either current or path to it, and the clear screen, like when you type a lot and you have a lot of output and you want to start from scratch, you want to clear the whole screen, you just type clear. So those clear, the ls and pwd, those are, we use all the time as you type, Okay, so now we used how to create a file, how to move a file, how to copy a file. Let's run how to remove a file. So what if you want to remove this file, the one I just created now, Saturday 1? You use the rm command, and then you specify the name of the file. So if we go to, you don't have to, you can just specify it here. So since Saturday 1 file is in directory 1 and 3, that's what we did. So let's say I want to remove it from directory 1. So what I use is rm dir1 /Saturday 1. Enter. That's it. I didn't get any message, so I'm gonna assume it was removed, but I will confirm in a minute. And let's remove it from dir3. So By the way, you can use the up and down arrow here and it will retype the whole command instead of retyping every time. So, and you just use the arrows to move left and right and make changes to what you type. So I'm gonna backspace and type 3, and I'm gonna remove Saturday 1 from dir 3, and if I hit enter and I didn't get any message, so I'm gonna assume that they are removed, but you can confirm. So if you go to dir 1 and you list the content, you're not gonna see Saturday 1, and if you go to dir 3, go to dir 3 and you do a listing, you're not gonna find the Saturday 1. So I don't know if we moved it to directory 2. Let's see. So dir 2 doesn't have anything. So basically, Saturday 1 is removed now. So I just want to go over what I'm typing here. If you notice, sometimes I type directly and I get an error message. I have a video about the path. It takes time to figure out how to use that path to a directory and a file in a system, because it's all, you have the absolute path and then you have the relative path. It depends where you are in the system. This is why sometimes it's confusing, because it's hard to remember, or but with time you get used to it, and I haven't done it for a while, but there's a video, I have a video in a course that explains the absolute and relative directory. I have free videos on YouTube too, so this is very important to know, because this is how you find a file or a directory. And there are other commands like find, and if you want to search the whole system, but that will take time, So let's clear the screen and let's see where we are now. PWD. You see, now I am in a home geocacham dir 3 dir 2 directory. So basically, it depends where you are. You have to use this path. So if you are in a home directory, you only have to use this because you're already in it. But if you are in a home geocam, this one, you just have to use this to get to that. You don't have to use anything because you are in a current directory, because you can use this. But if you want to use dir 2, which is inside dir 3, you have to use the path. It depends where you are. This is why I had a hard time now to get to. But it takes time, but you'll figure it out. It's not something impossible to learn. So we're done with these are basic commands for the files, but I am sure there's more. But again, this course and what I teach is very basic, and for new users of Linux commands, or users who like to refresh their skills. So But once you start, you nail down, then you figure out more complicated commands and structure on your own. So now let's look at this third one is the directory related commands. So the directory related commands are the same as we did for the file. How to create a directory, how to move a directory, how to remove a directory, and how to copy a directory. So let's start here. So again, let's do a listing here. So if you do a listing here, I have dir1 and dir3. So let's say I want to create another directory in my current directory now where I am, so I want to add directory 4, let's say, because directory 2 is already existing in the system. So if I want to add directory 4 to this current directory, I want to add it with dir1, dir3. I'm gonna use the command make directory or mkdir, which is the abbreviation of make directory. Use this command, use space bar, and then you add the name of the directory you want to create. So I want to create now dir3, dir4, enter. So I created dir4 now, and if you do a listing again, you can see dir4 included. So this is dir4 here. So this is how you create a directory. Let's say you want to remove a directory. I want to remove directory 1. Let me see if it has any content in it. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let me remove the directory for the one I just created. It doesn't have any files in it, because when you have a file in a directory and you want to remove it, there's more options you have to use. So I want to remove directory 4, I'm going to use the rm dir. I used to think you can use rm just like the file, but it doesn't work that way. You have to use rm dir. So rm dir, and then you specify the name of the directory you want to move, which is dir4 in this case. Enter, and it's removed, and you do listing to confirm its removal. And if you look here, you're not going to find it. So this is how you remove a directory, an empty directory. If you want to remove a directory that it has files in it, I think you have to use some kind of options. It's the R for recursive, -R, capital R, I think, but we can look it up in the system whenever we need to. So this is how you create and remove that. Now let's say how to move a directory. So the remove, I think you can use the mv, which is the same as the file. So let's try to move directory 1 to directory 3. So what I'm going to do, move mv dir1 space dir3, enter. Okay, so what we did now, we moved dir1 to dir3. So if we go to the list, the content of dir3, you can see directory 1 in it. And let's do it here. ls dir3, enter, and you can find dir1. So dir3 has dir1 now and dir2. So, and that's how you move a directory from one location to another. Let's do a copy directory. The copy directory, I think it's the cp2, but we can confirm it. So if you notice, it does not matter how long you have used the commands in Linux. If you don't use them daily, you kind of forget. And it's not a problem if you forget them. The best way is to know where to find the command when you want to use it, when you need it, and when to use it. That's the main thing, just like learning programming, So you cannot memorize everything. Let everything comes to you as a second nature. The more you use them, the more you remember them. And if you don't remember them, learn how to find them and how to learn them again. So let's see. So now I'm gonna copy one dir to another one. So let's say I wanna copy dir one. Actually, I'm got lost because I have a lot of dir one, dir two, dir three. Let's create again dir four. So I'm gonna create again dir four. So now we have dir four and dir three. So let's say I want to move dir four to dir three. So I'm gonna use the MV. Actually, the copy. Let's copy. I always mix up the copy and the move. Copy dir four to dir three. And if you notice, like I mentioned before, this is the simplest form of using files and directories, and I'm using it on purpose not to confuse you with the path to them, like the slash. This is like you have to learn these things. Once you nail down the basics, you can learn the path to the directories. So cp dir 4 dir 3, so it's gonna create a copy of dir 4 in dir 3, and it's gonna keep dir 4 in its current original location. So that's it. Okay, so cpr not specified, directory dir 4. Okay, I never seen this error before. Okay, it looks like I should have used the -r. That's what it says here. -r not specified, omitted directory dir 4. Let me see what it did. No, it's still here. But let me see if it was moved to dir 3. ls dir 3. Okay, so I think I have to use the R option, the flag. Let's see if it works now. So it looks like it worked now. So let's see, ls. Okay, so this is dir 1 here, and ls dir 3. Enter. Okay, so you have to use the -r with the copy to move it, and I'll find out in a minute why we have to use the -r. Okay, so let's clear the screen. Okay, so most of you are familiar with the man command. The man command it's the online help in Linux system. So whenever you have a problem with a command, one of the best resources that you can start with while you're in a terminal is the man. It's the online help. So what you can do is man, and then you type the command you want to find out about, and once you get a listing, if it exists in a system, sometimes not every command is in Linux online help. So let's see if the cp, and I'm gonna assume it's here because it's one of the basic commands. So man cp, and if you hit enter, it's gonna give you a list of details about what's the cp command, what it does, and options you will use, and I'm sure it's gonna list the -r flag that we just saw now, and then it's gonna explain why it's used. So let's enter. Okay, so it says this is one of the best resources, whether you're new or experienced. You know, the man and the command while you're in a terminal. So in this case, and if you don't find any help on here, then you jump to the internet or your books, or you ask somebody. So let's see, it says cp, copy files and directories. So it's the cp command that can be used to files and directories. It's the same one, and it will give you the syntax, the synopsis, cp option dash source destination, source, whatever. These are details about the format. And you have to read the description. This is very important too and easy to understand. Copy source to destination or multiple source to directory. So it becomes complicated. Once you nail down the basic, you can start exploring and trying different things. And like here, you can move and do directory manipulation for different directories at the same time using the same command. So it says mandatory arguments to long options are mandatory for short options too. I'm not sure what they mean by this, but let's try it. The options here. A attributes, never used this. Backup, all of those I never used them, but you can read it and see what it does and if it applies to your situation. And now what you do, you hit space bar to get to the second page, to scroll down to the second page. So if you notice, it's in an alphabetic order, those flags, the options, minus P, minus L, S, S. Okay, so this is the R here. You have the capital R and the dash R, and it says recursive. Copy directories recursively. I think recursively it means the directories and its content. So you want to use this whenever you're moving or deleting or copying directories. You have to use the R. Some cases you have to use the capital R, and some cases the small R. And I think that implies include the content of the files in a directory. And even though I was moving a directory which didn't have files, I'm not sure why I had to use the R. But the system proposed it, so you use it. So every time you hit the space bar, you're gonna go down until you get to the end. And you see here on the bottom it says end. And it says press H for help or Q to quit. So if you hit the Q, you cannot go back to the terminal where you were before. Q and you are back to the terminal. So this is how you use man command to find out how to use certain commands. Now let's, so we're done with the files and the directories, and now I have to use changing password. How to change the password in Linux. So let's clear the screen. Oops. Whenever you want to change your password, you use the password command abbreviated PSSWD. It's PSSWD. This is what you use for password command, and you have to be logged in as the user who's trying to change the password. If you are an established user, you have an account on a system. Now in certain cases you have to change or establish the directory for a new user, and you have to provide it to them, and usually that's done by the admin user. But I'm not gonna go in that case. Let's just keep it to the simple password change of somebody who's logged in the system and they want to change their own password. So now I've been using the admin account since the beginning of this session, but this is not recommended. You want to use a standard account, because an admin account, you can do a lot of damage in the system if you made a mistake. So it's recommended do not log in as an admin in any computer, server or otherwise, unless you want to do administrative work and you want to make changes in the system. As long as you don't want to make any changes and you don't need the admin privilege, you just use a standard user. And I have two standard users I have established on the system, and I'm going to use them now. So the first one is, I just want to make sure I got the username and their password. Okay, so I have I got George PC. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open another terminal to start another user, standard user. I have another standard user, and there is a way while you're logged in as the admin. Let's say I know I have a standard username and password account. While I'm here now, I can switch to the other account, but I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna leave it for another video to explain what commands you use. This way we don't complicate things. So this is why I'm gonna get out of this here. I'm gonna quit exit. Okay, you use exit. So if you use exit, you get you see this is why you cannot remember everything. You keep forgetting stuff, but you wanna try. So I had the feeling it's either quit or exit, but the system said quit. It looks like you have to install another software to use the quit, but I was able to use exit. So let's try another one. Okay, I'm going to use another account, another username, which is George KC. This is George KC. This is my abbreviated name. So George KC, enter, and it says George KC at server 2's password. It's okay. Let me clear the screen. I'm logged in, and it gave me a different message from the admin because I'm not the admin. So actually, it gave some. Yeah, it looks like this message is presented to everyone, but I cannot run those here because I'm not the admin. So that's clear. If you notice, the prompt changed here, and those prompts can be changed too in the system if you want to make some changes, and I have to figure out how. I don't know how. So right now, okay, I am at my home directory, and as I said, I logged in as a standard user myself, and I want to change the password. So I just logged in now with my original password, and I want to change it. So what I do, password PSSWD, enter. Oops. Okay, it's PASSWD, not PSSWD. So it says a changing password for George KC. Current password is I have to enter my current password. Enter. And then it says new password. So you have to enter the new password now. I'm gonna write it here this way. I don't forget it. Okay, so it says retype a new password. 23. And before I hit enter, if you made a mistake while typing your new password or old password, the current password, it's gonna give you an error. Let's see now. Okay, so you got a message, password updated successfully. So now if I log out, I'm gonna log in again. I'm gonna have to use the new password. So let me show you if I use the old one, what happens. This is the old one, and it's not gonna take it. You see, access denied. Then it will give you the prompt again. Now I have to type the password, the new password. Now it should log in. So I logged in now. So this is how you change your password in a terminal window. So that's it for this video. I was gonna, if I had somebody attending or enrolled in this workshop, I would have waited now for more for questions and to answer you and to apply them on screen but for the next time maybe. So I figured this can be a good reference for Linux file-related commands, directory-related commands, and how you change the password. If you are advanced or even if you are a beginner, you should know these things, If not, it will serve as a refresher. And if you have any questions, please submit them in a comment. And as I mentioned before in the beginning of this session, if you see any issues or any problems, please let me know so I can adjust the systems here or the technical the software and the hardware, which are very basic, but still to set them up on a live stream it was not easy, even though I've done it before, but not often. And with this, I want to end it. And again, if you have an interest in learning more commands, or you are more serious about, I have a course on about Linux commands for beginners. It's very basic, but it covers different topics, and I like you to check it out at georgekc.com. You just have to check it out. You don't have to enroll or anything, but get an idea what it is and what I cover. You might be interested in it. And so if you go to let me see, if you go to this screen here, this website, georgekc.com, and you can see two images here. This one is for the course, Linux Commands Basics online course, and this is for the workshop that I'm going to be holding live or pre-recorded at one point, and just like the one I'm running now. So this one. But if you, I will announce whenever I have another session, a workshop like this one. But if you're interested in the online course in more details, if you click on this one, you can take, this is the course description page, you can read about it. And this is the what the course covers. It's got 12 sessions and it covers a lot of areas, basics and a little bit advanced, but it gets you started with Linux commands. And if you have any questions, even if you enroll and you have any question, I will help you in the Linux group, and I can hold live sessions one-on-one or one-to-many, because I know sometimes it becomes daunting to learn certain commands on your own if you're interested. So with that said, thank you very much for reviewing this workshop, whether part of it or the whole thing. And please submit your comments and let me know if you want me to cover anything specific in the future. Thank you.